IVM.
I want to thank Intel for supporting our show. Do you remember last year when we spoke about how the Intel vPro platform is built for business? Well, I'm glad to say we've kicked it up a notch. That's right, Intel is back with a new and improved version of the platform. The new Intel vPro platform lets you do more of what you want and less of what you don't. So it's better for you and for your IT teams, who really are the backbone of keeping your work from home experience easy and enjoyable. I can safely say that the new vPro platform gives you more enterprise efficiency with less constraints. Visit intel.in/morewithvpro, that's VPRO, to discover how you can get more done with less waiting. If you're listening on the IVM Podcast Android app, click the link that's visible to you now.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with teas. Did you know that the Darjeeling tea is known as the champagne of teas? Authentic Darjeeling tea grows only across 70 square miles, at a high altitude and across rocky terrain. The cold and the height make it difficult to access, and the tea pickers have to work very hard for it. However, Darjeeling tea is not the most expensive tea in the world. There are many more costly teas. So what about it do people appreciate? It can't just be expensive because it's difficult to grow, right? What's interesting is that the tasting notes of the Darjeeling tea are called musky, sweet, delicate vegetal, citrusy flavors with a hint of moss and fruits. Wow, that was a mouthful. Can you imagine tea has so many different flavors in it? Have you ever had Darjeeling tea? Do you remember what a mossy, fruity, citrusy flavor is? Actually, let me ask you something else. Have you ever spent so much time thinking about what the flavor of tea or coffee or whatever beverage you have is? Do you remember what your last tea even tasted like? Truth be told, we have no clue about the flavors because we do not spend any time focusing on the taste. We are so busy doing something or the other that we never stop and pause to enjoy the moment of our hot beverage. As a result, we add a lot of sugar or other things into the beverage just so that the taste can excite us. Today I want to talk to you about how we can meditate or become mindful as we drink our tea. I use this technique whenever I feel overwhelmed or restless. You see, our minds are forever swarming with ideas. There are so many things swimming around, jumping around. We very often feel restless. We can't figure out what the future will be like. We can't figure out what about the past is troubling us. We feel this sense of uneasiness. We feel the sense of restlessness. It's in moments like these when we need to hit pause. Take a deep breath in. Let a deep breath out. Feel the emptiness. Then go to the kitchen and make a cup of tea. Watch as the water starts bubbling. Gently place your mug on the counter and place the tea inside. Each action should be filled with thought and intention, care and concern. Next, pour the hot water over the tea and see it infuse. Watch the patterns it makes. Notice the smell that has entered the air. And when ready, remove the tea leaves and sit in a quiet spot with your mug. Feel the warmth in your hands. Watch the steam escape the surface. Notice how it dances around as it goes up. At this moment, try your best not to pass judgment on the tea. Is it too strong, too dark, too hot, too sweet, etc.? We are just observing what is there. We are not wishing for what is not there. We are not trying to make the experience better. We are just trying to experience this moment. Now take a sip and feel the liquor enter your mouth. What are the flavors you taste? What are the different things you are feeling? The warmth against your nose, the sting as the hot tea touches your lips. You will suddenly notice a calm come over you. You will notice a sense of peace. Focus on the tea. At this moment in time, there is nothing more important than the tea in your hand. Remember the person who picked it, who all made this happen just so that you could have this cup of tea. Feel the world fade away. And once the tea is over, put the cup down slowly come back into this world. Take this newfound peace along with you for the rest of the day, or for the rest of the few hours at least. As your habit coach, I want you to realize that the peace you're searching for is always within you. It just needs that right setting and that right intention for you to find it. Once this becomes a practice, you can then use this in other aspects of your life as well. Listen to the rain. Cooking a meal, even drinking water can become a state of meditation. So your simple habit starts with the intention of bringing peace and calm to your mind. Then all you have to do is boil the water and get your tea ready. Now notice, how many flavors can you pick up while sipping your tea? Is it more than the Darjeeling kind? So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money and Intel. So, been a really exciting week on the network this week. We've had some really cool stuff. My old friend Vivek Lad was on Storytellers and Storysellers. Definitely do check that out. On Cyrus Said, we had Ashwin Sanghi on Thursday's episode, and Cyrus and myself did a cock and bull, just the two of us. That was fun as well on Monday. Do check that out. Masaba was on Advertising is Dead, which was another really, really strong episode from Varun. And on the sports front, both Edges and Sledges, Football Shitball had some really fun episodes. That's the Football Twaddle. Do check those out as well. And if you haven't been paying attention and you haven't been listening to Smile India in these times, I don't know why you aren't. It's the most uplifting show that you could listen to. It's a short, bite-sized piece of really positive things that happen in India. Do definitely check that out. And with that, we hope to see you again next week.
Advertising is dead. Yep, you heard me right. Advertising is dead. We're all in the content business now. Let's not call it news, TV, radio, etc., etc. It's all content, and we're in the middle of this weirdly exciting phase where all the borders and lines that have been drawn over decades has been swept away by this lovely thing called the internet. We're a show where we don't dwell on just the stuff that is now, but rather the wider stuff about advertising, media, content, and the whole goddamn circus surrounding it. Tune in every Tuesday for our weekly unboxing of the mystery box we used to call advertising. I'm Varun Dugirala, co-founder and content chief at The Glitch, and this is my new podcast, Advertising is Dead.